to the top line of the description box and go grab your book now from world-renowned artist Anthony L. Kelly. All right, let's jump into this because last week, or about a week ago, Ice Cube, sent shockwaves through the industry where he talked about the Big Three and how it was being sabotaged by, in particular the NBA. Well, he continued. At the time, he talked about that he was going to go on a podcast tour talking more about, not just the attack on Big Three, but in this particular interview, he's talking about the prison industrial complex, and he connected and pretty much showed how the labels are actually feeding people to these prisons for profit. Now, he sat down with Bill Maher on Club Random Podcast, and let me tell you, this is explosive. I'm going to play the clip, then stick around till I give my opinion after it. All right, here's Ice Cube talking with Bill Maher on Club Random Podcast. I'm letting you know right now, this is going to be powerful, so please make sure you share it and hit the like button in advance. Rotate.
You go.
Yeah, and it's just done to really keep us bickering and chasing these words.
Okay,
and not really getting to the root of the issues, which are most of the time very common if we really go down to the root of it.
Could not agree more.
Yeah.
But you said it's being done to divide us. Okay, by who? Who's doing it?
Well, who benefits and profits off our bickering and our division?
Who?
It's like follow the money. I don't know their names, Bill, but if you follow the money, you go high enough, you start to see, okay, this is an industry. Okay, let's take rap music.
Let's take it.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons. So
literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. So it seems really kind of suspicious, if you want to say that word, that, the records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Certain flavors are exposed on the record. Some records are made by committee. Meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. So the narrative is really kind of, structured and really made into what the record company want the record to be, and what a lot of artists are frustrated with this kind of music making. A lot of people, feel like they're being controlled by the label. This is how they do it. Telling you what songs to sing, what hooks to do, what songs, you can do your song, that's fine. That's an album cut. But the single is what we all say is the single. So you have, the record company pushing the narrative, so this to me is in somewhat, some social engineering going on here to make sure those prisons stay full. Now, there's a lot of dots to connect to make that happen. But I'm just giving you a broad example of how people at the top can manipulate what's going on with the people who are bickering and fighting. I just gave you a music example, but there's examples of race.
Can I cross-examine this?
So let's jump into this, right? Because I think that's a powerful what Ice Cube said, and I think that in a lot of instances, right, that it definitely could be true, right? And we had Lazy Bone or Crazy Bone. I think Crazy Bone came on. He said the same thing on our podcast, as many rappers have, echoed the same sentiment. Um, Now my thing will be, how do we prove this? And I always heard, and from my little research that I did, it wasn't too extensive, but I tried to look into see if I could find any connections with anybody in the industry that own, or label exec that own any prisons or prison stock. And it's hard to kind of find that information because there's certain ways that you can, go about, purchasing things where your name is not attached to it, right? So if we really can't show concrete, evidence, right? That's one thing, because people are going to ask. Like, I'm sure Bill Maher says, well, who? Like, who's dividing? Who are these, label execs that own? You may not necessarily be able to find that, but what you have to do is just use the mind that God or whoever you believe in gave you, and just put two and two together. Like Ice Cube said, he said, all right, look who's profiting, following the money. You see, okay, if we are able to keep, if we got just genre of music, we know a few things about music, right? That music inspires, it heals, it changes your feeling. And music can be and is a major marketing tool. When you ever hear, like, you know, let's say any type of jingle that you hear, you play that over and over and over in your head. Think of any jingle that when I'm at something called Frank Jewelers, and they say, "Come see Frank's Jewelers, because your jeweler should be Frank's. Oh, go buy yourselves gold is 50% off." Like, it's just these things that are gonna ring in your head. So, I said all that to say is that when music is a certain type of music is played, right, to a group of people that are very impressionable and don't have many other role models, these people become the role models. The rappers become the role models, right? Because they have everything that you want: the money, the girls, the drugs, and the fame, the glitz, the glamour. You want all of that. Everybody wants that, right? And you see that, and you say, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. So you hear somebody like Dirk or somebody talking about this and Molly and this and that, and and hustling, and you feel like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do or have to do. And if you continue playing that over and over in your head, and that's all you listen to, you become that. There's books on it. I'm reading a book. I've read books that said, "As a man thinketh," right? I got it right over there in the corner. And your thoughts, actually, they come from somewhere, but your thoughts actually begin to manifest what happens in your life. So if you see with Biggie and Pac, right? They always talking about death. Like, I feel like death is fucking calling me. Death, 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 death. Eventually, they manifest death. You've manifested stuff in your life. I've manifested stuff in my life, whether it be positive or negative. So if you have a particular type of music, and all the majority of music is, now we see slut, 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 ho, 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 bad bitch, bad bitch, bad bitch, dope boy, dope boy, dope boy. Now I'm taking a dope boy. You get it? You see what I'm saying? So it's it's marketing at its highest level, and it's actually causing you to do things. It's causing you to, all right, I'm taking down the op. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Now, you will say, okay, well, white people listen to it, or, these people listen to it. Again, it goes back to what I said earlier, right? You have some white people that's in the life. You got some, whatever race that, may have grew up, parents drug addicted, boom, boom. They ain't had that many role models. They're more inept as well to go into that type of underworld lifestyle, listening to that type of music, right? Now, it's funny how you listen to other brands of music, right? Whatever it may be, you don't really hear the type of message and other type of music like you hear in particular hip hop. You don't really hear those type of messages. Now, some people say rock and roll, this, that. The message is totally different. Hip hop is the only, and I could go on for hours about this. Hip hop is the only genre, right, where you could talk about killing your brother, having sex with multiple women, right? And it's cool, it's promoted. it's like it's the thing to say is he's my op. I'm gonna kill him. They talk about killing other black people. We always shining and stunting on other black people. We always talking about killing other black people. We talking about tricking on and hoeing on and outshining other black people. So all you gotta do is go back, right? And I'm not something might sound like I'm all over the place, but I'm dropping some serious jewels to people that know about this. And even if you don't, whatever, right? Remember at a time in hip hop where the music, it seemed like it was more of an uplifting thing, and it was all right. The message is now fight the power, like not fight my brother, fight the power, fight the powers that be. F the police. This is the message. So now you start to see people actually, all right, living this shit. And then the label is like, oh nah, we not only can't we have that, but we see the power of this hip hop. I think that the execs seen the power early. And they said, all right, we can either influence the masses, good, positive, negative. Negatively, shit. Let's get them in jail. Because remember, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Black people were brought over here or they were already over here. Either way, they was enslaved, right? For what? A source of free and exploitable labor, period. Let's just go back. Cotton, tobacco, anything you can name. A source of free and exploitable labor, period. Why wouldn't you want to continue, right, to make these people continue to be, right, a source of free and exploitable labor? Why not? Why not? Right? And we see it with what they say, prison industrial complex. Bill Maher can even say, oh, it's the prison industrial complex. It shouldn't be in private hands. You're damn right. You're damn right. But we're going to take the people that we always brought here, and find another way. We can't necessarily put them in slavery like that, but when they get to prison, or we can make this dude work for 20 cents a day or 30 cents a day. We could do that if they commit crimes and go to prison. So I'm gonna fall back, man. Like I said, I could go on for a long, long time. Some of the stuff, because I was asking myself the question, I'm like, everybody keeps saying this about these label owners owning this stock and all this stuff and owning prisons and all that, but who can prove it? We gotta prove this. We always talking about, somebody gotta prove this. I want to see paperwork. I want to see paperwork. I want to see this. Well, this is an instance where I wanted to see some paperwork. So, nevertheless, I looked into it a little bit, and it's very hard to make any real connections. And if you really see, I haven't seen anybody, and if it's out there, send it to me, because I'll give them their credit, who's able to make a connection, say, okay, ABC from ABC label owns 50% stock or 30 or 20% stock here. So, but it would make sense, though. It would definitely make sense. The more that I can fill these beds and get people in, the more I can make on the back end. It will make a lot of sense. But hey, it's your brother Old God, man. I appreciate y'all listening in. I was a little bit all over with this one. It went a little longer than usual, but I hope that somebody got some jewels out of this. And shout out to Ice Cube for doing this podcast tour. Hopefully he continues to speak on these type of topics, because I think these type of topics need to be talked about more and more, because it's very important. So make sure you guys hit the like button, share the video, and make sure that you like and share the video, like and share that joint, and go to the top line of the description box. Go get your book from my brother Anthony L. Kelly as well. Man, I appreciate y'all. Peace.